The Whispering Bridge. Once upon a time, in the village of Azuma, there lived a young girl named Orosu, just 13 years old, as beautiful as a cherry blossom yet to bloom. All the young men were infatuated with her. But in the moonlit nights, an unfamiliar young man, a handsome stranger, started appearing near her house. At first, Orosu would blush upon seeing him, but gradually she found herself falling in love with him, secretly in the depth of her heart. One fateful night, they began to speak to each other for the first time. "Who are you?" Orosu asked the stranger. "Why do you come to my house every night?" "I come from north," he replied. "I have only seen you once, but since then, your image has been etched in my mind as if branded by fire." Curiously, the stranger only visited at night and never revealed his name. Orosu desired to know who he truly was, so she devised a clever plan. She inserted a long thread into the youth's cloth, with a needle attached to it. The next morning, the thread led her to an ancient cryptomeria tree that had stood for 1,000 years. The needle with the thread was embedded in the tree's bark. Orosu couldn't believe her eyes. It meant that the handsome youth was the spirit of the old cryptomeria. Returning home, the girl tearfully shared her sorrow with her parents. The people in the village were greatly alarmed and decided to fell the old tree. Hundreds of people gathered, ready to cut down the cryptomeria. However, each night, the wood chips and severed branches returned to their original places, magically growing back onto the tree. Many days passed by so. All the trees in the forest were saddened by the misfortune that befell their ruler and went to visit him. The sagebrush also appeared. However, the mighty cryptomeria said to him, "You are not a tree, but a pitiful shrub. There is no place for you among the trees." The sagebrush became angry and said to the villagers, "Throw into the fire everything that you can cut off from the cryptomeria." For many days they chopped the old tree, burning the twigs and branches, and drove large iron arrows deep into the trunk. It was only in this way that they managed to fell the cryptomeria. They decided to build a bridge from it to the Fukushima castle, but no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't budge the heavy tree. That's when they called upon Orosu. She approached the cryptomeria and whispered something quietly to it. Suddenly, the tree trunk swayed as if nodding and effortlessly moved from its place. They built a magnificent bridge from it. However, people were afraid to walk on it because at night it whispered something in a soft and melancholic voice. By the order of a castle lord, Orosu, dressed in her finest attire, was brought again. She started crossing the bridge, tears filling her eyes. She took a few steps and pressed her cheek against the railings. But suddenly her breath left her, and she fell dead in the middle of the bridge. Since then, it has been called the Whispering Bridge. The Rabbit Reader read for you. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you for watching.